All right, this one's called being content. One of the many reasons we use drugs, alcohol, gambling, food, shopping, whatever our thing is because we aren't content with our natural state of mind. We're either trying to numb ourselves or heighten our awareness. Both are us trying to escape our present reality. Question is, why aren't we content with how God created our senses, our experiences, our existence? Why do we want it altered? Psalm 139:13-14. For you created my inmost being. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. I'm not talking about enduring through hard times. I'm talking about just appreciating the good times. Some of us aren't pleased with how we are made, much less praising God for it. We often struggle to enjoy the simple things. In the boring, mundane routines of life, are we seeing it all as wonderful, or are we bored and unsatisfied? 1 Timothy 6:6-8. Now godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and clothing, with these we shall be content. We can have homes, families, friends, jobs, and still be wanting. There is a scene in Tombstone where Wyatt asks Doc, what is up with Ringo? And Doc tells Wyatt that he has a hole that can't be filled. Wyatt asks him, what from? And Doc says, from being born. We can finally be sober, off probation, all fines and restitution paid, and still not feel free. We can own all the toys, the latest gadgets, and still be empty. We can have our physical and mental health and still feel unwell. A hole that can't be filled. We can even have God and not be content. Only when we have God and contentment do we have great gain. It only happens when we surrender and allow God to work in our lives. It only happens when we submit and let God transform us. It only happens when we abide and let Him renew our minds. How do we do it? We don't do it. He does it. We just have to trust Him and keep doing what we're doing. He's doing it right now. We just have to be mindful of what He has already done in our lives. We aren't the same people we were when we first said yes to Jesus. None of us are the same. You must see that. You have to. That's where contentment is. Contentment is seeing the gains God has already given you. It's being thankful and grateful for it. Contentment is being thankful and grateful for what God has done in your life up to this point and believing He isn't finished. Psalm 30:11-12. You have turned for me my mourning into dancing. You have put off my sackcloth and clothed me with gladness, to the end that my glory may sing praise to you and not be silent, O Lord my God. I will give thanks to you forever. We always think about choosing joy in bad circumstances. What about choosing joy in good circumstances? For some of us, that needs to be talked about. I understand that this talk isn't for everyone, but for those of you that relate with discontentment, you know the struggle. Everything can be going awesome, and yet you're still in a funk. Outwardly, your life could look like it's hitting on all cylinders, but inwardly, you're longing. Psalm 30 is all about David giving God thanks forever for what He has done for him. He cried out to God, and He healed him. God brought his soul up from the grave. God kept him alive. Do you relate to any of that? You just have to remember what God has already done, and He'll turn your mourning into dancing. He'll clothe you with gladness instead of sackcloth. Psalm 77:11-12. I will remember the works of the Lord. Surely I will remember your wonders of old. I will also meditate on all your work and talk of your deeds. You all have a testimony. Some of you need to share it more often. Others of you, maybe you've taken it for granted. Maybe you've told your story so many times it feels just like that, a story. You forget it happened to you. God, the creator of the universe, knocked on your door. If that isn't moving to you, that is what I'm trying to get at. It should be moving. The creator of everything calls you friend and saved your life. Worship last week, Nate sang a song called Jesus is Enough. It's simple. It goes, Jesus is enough for me. My light and my salvation. It's all I'll ever need. Jesus is enough for me. Is that true for you? If not, you won't have the great gains that come from having God and contentment. John 14:27, peace I leave with you. My peace give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Peace is what we're after. It's where we can just be and be okay with it. Not too high, not too low, just at peace. Jesus wants us to have his peace. He doesn't want us to have a troubled heart. He didn't save us only for us to walk around troubled. He didn't keep us alive all those times only for us to feel blah. He wants us to experience fullness, lacking nothing. Philippians 4:19, and my God shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. Psalm 16:11, you will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore. Psalm 107:9, for he satisfies the longing soul. He fills the hungry soul with goodness. These aren't things that we're waiting to receive. You have them. They've been given to you. Are you thankful and grateful for what he has done? Of course you are. You are. Sing his praises. Let your glory sing. Maybe we don't feel worthy. Imagine choosing to die for someone. Like you made the decision. It wasn't an accident. You wanted to do it to protect them or something, and they spent the rest of their lives not feeling worthy. Bummer. You died for them so they could live a full life. You wanted them to live life to its fullest. Jesus wants that for us. John 15:11, these things I've spoken to you that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy may be full. Galatians 5:1, stand fast therefore in the liberty by which Christ has made us free, and do not be entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Romans 6:4, therefore we were buried with him through baptism into death, that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life. Ephesians 2:4-5, but God, who is rich in mercy, because of his great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead in trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved. In the natural, our discontentment with normal everyday reality can be caused by using drugs and alcohol way too soon in our development, like our early teens. It alters brain development, disrupts natural pleasure and reward systems, and stunts emotional growth. Those of us without chemical abuse background can have discontentment issues from unmet expectations, a focus on what one lacks, a focus on what one lacks instead of what one has, and a desire for things that cannot be attained, such as other people's lives or a life without hardship. That's why we aren't supposed to covet our neighbors. Proverbs 14:30, a sound heart is life to the body, but envy is rottenness to the bones. Ecclesiastes 4:4, again I saw that for all toil and every skillful work a man is envied by his neighbor. This also is vanity and grasping for the wind. You, like Ringo from Tombstone, was born with a gaping hole. You will always feel empty if you try to fill it with the world. It's a Jesus-sized hole. It can only be filled by Jesus. Only Jesus can satisfy us. John 14:13-14, Jesus answered and said to her, whoever drinks of this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst. But the water that I shall give him will become in him a fountain of water springing up into everlasting life.